Jason saved Sasha. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Jason returned from visiting Michael in Germany and wouldn't talk about fathering Sasha's baby, so Tracy assumed he was the dad and warned the news was spreading. Felicia invited Sasha and Cody to the Port Charles Grill to hash things out, and she accepted his apology, but when Jason showed up, that set Cody off again, and he insisted he admit Sasha's baby was his. Sasha threw her drink in Cody's face and stormed off, followed by Jason. At the boathouse, she asked him to say her baby was his to protect Michael. He agreed but insisted they tell Danny about it. After Sasha chatted with Elaine, she was annoyed to learn she was a PI and followed her to a park. Elaine told Martin she couldn't find any dirt on Michael, but wanted to see what the Quatermain cook might have heard. Sasha let Elaine's dog, Mavis, loose so she could search her bag while the PI went after her pet, only for her to be hit by a car. Sasha felt terrible and offered to care for Mavis, while Elaine recovered from her injuries, and the PI revealed she'd been hired to look into her. Rick congratulated Liz on her first day back at work and asked her to take a walk in the park with him. They came across Ava trying to invite Avery back to see her new apartment, which Christina wouldn't allow. Rick pulled Ava back to her place and warned that stunts like that would hurt her custody case. She lashed out at him, but the anger turned to passion and they had sex. Christina called Sonny to let him know Ava tried to kidnap Avery, and she would testify to that in court. On the flight home, Sonny got a call from the doctor that he wouldn't need a pacemaker, just surgery. Natalia urged him to settle custody with Ava to avoid the stress of a trial. Sonny updated Jason on the doctor's prognosis and then went to see Ava. After confirming with Liz she wouldn't testify about Ava trying to take Avery, Rick went to reassure Ava and share his plan of attack, but they were interrupted by Sonny, who wanted to make a deal so they wouldn't put Avery through a long court battle. Ava agreed to a 50-50 shared custody with Sonny for Avery's sake. Martin met with Willow to say they needed to make a strong response to the divorce. Carly and Nina tried to figure out how to get Drew out of Willow's life and agreed to work together. Carly warned Tracy to stop fighting with Willow over the custody of the kids and leave Drew to her. Nina joined Martin and Willow and didn't agree with the aggressive approach, urging Willow to wait for Michael to return so they could work things out amicably. But Martin warned Willow that since she was the one who cheated, they weren't on even ground and they needed dirt on Michael. As Willow and Nina discussed keeping secrets, Nina was about to confess to her affair with Drew, but Tracy interrupted. Alexis pulled her away and warned her to stop badgering Drew and Willow, while Nina backtracked and didn't say anything to ruin her daughter's view of her. When Cyrus stopped at Bobby's, Jocelyn apologized for accusing him, but after he scurried off, Colette gave Joss the address of a property Austin bought after Cyrus was released from prison. Rocco regretted telling Danny about Cyrus, especially when Danny saw a social media post from Kai with Cyrus in the background and raced over to Charlie's pub. He confronted Cyrus about killing his mother, and as the villain denied it, Jason arrived to break it up, threatening to kill Cyrus if he touches his son again. Martin wanted to press charges against Jason, but didn't trust Anna not to protect her friend. After questioning Cyrus' landlord, Chase learned about Jocelyn's visit, and Anna arrested her before she got herself killed. Spotting Dante at the station, Anna warned him to leave before he compromised the case. Chase admitted that Danny knew about Cyrus because he told Dante. After questioning Jason about threatening Cyrus' life, Anna arrested him. Chase questioned Liz about the incident in the pub, but she wouldn't say anything to incriminate Jason. Alexis visited Jason in prison and said that while she would also love to end Cyrus, he needed to let the police handle this because Danny would never heal if his father killed Cyrus. Curtis was discussing the Esplanade with Jordan at the cafe when Sidwell joined them and repeated his suggestion about taking over Pier 55. Curtis warned Jordan that Sidwell was working with Drew and trying to take over Sunny's territory, so he was dismayed when she later told Jens she wanted to hear more of his plans. Brooke Lynn was annoyed at Maxie covering for Lulu, who was late for work again, and then Lucy introduced Jens to everyone with Lucky. Things were tense with Lulu, so he excused himself and Lucy complained he could have helped them out financially. Sidwell went downstairs and approached Natalia in the parking lot, where it was revealed that they used to be married. Trina ran into Kai in the park, and he apologized for taking things out on her. She worried she split his focus, but he said that was crazy. Trina brought Kai to Charlie's pub to meet Emma, who asked him to join her Students Against Animal Cruelty organization. He agreed and asked Trina to join as well. Lucas and Maxie were having a night out at the Brown Dog and noticed Carly and Jack at another table. Lucas again warned Carly against getting involved with someone like that, while Maxie told Jack she didn't want him hurting Carly. Returning to their table, Lucas agreed to let Maxie set him up with a date. Cody saw Molly at the hospital and wanted to apologize for being so rude to her, but she took off, and he followed her to the roof, where she accepted his apology only to find out they were locked up there. She admitted she was running away because she used her position to get a copy of Sam's autopsy, though she didn't know what she was going to do with it. Cody took off his pants and threw them down where Isaiah and Lucas were talking about Sidwell so they could come up and rescue them. The tension in Port Charles was palpable as chaos unfolded in the hospital. Everyone was on edge, especially when a critical situation took a drastic turn. Sasha Gilmore, once an aspiring model, was struggling with personal battles that had left her vulnerable. She had been grappling with an addiction that spiraled out of control, impacting her relationships and career. No one could have predicted how bad things would get when she found herself in a life-threatening predicament. It all began when Sasha's pain reached a new height. She had been through so much, losing the son, facing betrayal, and dealing with the pressures of addiction. The pain was a weight that no one could truly understand, but it was becoming clear to those who loved her that she was slipping away. A desperate moment took her to a place she couldn't escape, and she found herself overdosing on a dangerous substance. At the moment when things seemed most hopeless, Jason Morgan entered the scene. Jason, who had become the protector of so many in Port Charles, never hesitated to act when someone's life was in danger. He had been through countless life and death situations, but Sasha's crisis was unlike anything he had ever experienced. He had seen her struggling, but he never imagined it would lead to a moment like this. Jason's instincts kicked in when he heard about Sasha's overdose. Without a second thought, he raced to the scene, determined to save her, even if it meant putting himself in danger. Jason's past was filled with moments where he had saved others, but this was different. This wasn't just a case of protecting the innocent from outside threats. This was personal. Sasha had once been part of a world that had included him, and although their paths had diverged over the years, Jason couldn't stand by while her life hung in the balance. When Jason arrived at the scene, he found Sasha unconscious, struggling to breathe. Her condition was deteriorating rapidly, and Jason knew time was running out. His heart raced as he checked for a pulse, and there was a moment of silence that felt like an eternity. He quickly assessed the situation and knew that if he didn't act fast, she wouldn't make it. Jason didn't waste time. He immediately began CPR, his hands steady and precise as he worked to save her. Every second counted. With his experience, he understood the urgency of the situation and kept his focus entirely on Sasha's survival. It wasn't just a job to him, it was a life, and Jason wasn't about to let it slip away. After what felt like an endless struggle, Jason finally managed to get a response from Sasha. She gasped for air, her body trembling as she regained consciousness. Jason didn't stop there though. He quickly called for medical help and made sure that she was transported to the hospital for further care. Sasha had been saved, but it wasn't the end of her journey. In the aftermath of the overdose, she was left with a sense of gratitude and a deeper understanding of her own fragility. The events had shaken her to her core, and she realized how much she had been neglecting her own health. It wasn't just physical recovery that Sasha needed. It was emotional healing, and she was going to have to face her demons were nothing short of heroic. But he didn't want to be seen as a hero. He didn't do it for praise or recognition. Jason saved Sasha because it was the right thing to do. He had seen the pain she was in, and he couldn't just stand by while someone in Port Charles suffered. His own complicated past and struggles with his own emotions made him understand pain and loss more than most, and in a moment like this, he knew that saving Sasha wasn't just about being a protector. It was about showing empathy and caring for someone who had been broken by life. The aftermath of Sasha's overdose rippled through Port Charles, with friends and loved ones reflecting on the moment they thought they had lost her. It was a reminder of how fragile life truly is, and how easily someone could slip through the cracks. But it was also a testament to the strength of the people in Port Charles, like Jason, who would stop at nothing to save a life, even when the odds were stacked against them. As Sasha recovered, she found herself grappling with a new sense of hope. The road to recovery wasn't going to be easy, but she was no longer alone. The people who cared about her, like Jason, Carly, and others, were by her side, and they were committed to helping her overcome the dark cloud that had been following her for so long. Sasha's journey was far from over, but in that moment, when Jason saved her, she was given a chance at life once more. And for Jason, it was another reminder of why he kept fighting for the people of Port Charles. He didn't need recognition or accolades. He just needed to know that he had done everything he could to make a difference in someone's life. In the weeks that followed, Sasha took steps toward healing. She sought professional help, surrounded herself with people who cared, and began to rebuild her life. It wasn't easy, but she knew that she could face the future with the knowledge that she had been given another chance. For Jason, the experience reaffirmed his belief in the importance of protecting those he cared about, no matter the cost. He had saved Sasha, and while the physical threat had been neutralized, the emotional scars she carried would take time to heal. But in a way, that was just another challenge Jason was ready to face. He had saved one life, and while the battle wasn't over, he knew that sometimes saving someone could change everything. Port Charles would go on, the drama of everyday life continuing, but for those who witnessed the events surrounding Sasha's overdose, it would be a reminder of the fragility of life, the power of second chances, and the lengths that some would go to in order to protect the people they loved. As for Sasha, she would continue her journey toward recovery. Jason, ever the silent protector, would remain by her side in whatever way she needed. He had saved her, but her real battle was just beginning. Still, Sasha knew she wasn't alone in her fight, and for the first time in a long while, she felt like she had a chance to heal. The heart-pounding drama of the day when Jason saved Sasha would never be forgotten in Port Charles. It served as a poignant reminder that, no matter how dark things might seem, there is always hope. And in Port Charles, there was always someone willing to fight for it. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updated news.